Hello, everyone. I don't know if you were listening to my music or not. It was hard to tell, so I think I may have been on mute. So sorry about that. One day I'll get this 100% right. Here we go. All right, everyone. Today is Tuesday. Sorry, there were some people who were having problems with the link, so I had to resend it. This is kind of a last minute thing. All right, so today I had nothing to talk about, which is quite unreal for me. But I have been going through something myself. Well, what's new? But this one's big and it's been very exhausting. So I just couldn't go into a meditation. Nothing's working. And then I said, okay, let me ask questions. Anyone have a question? And isn't one of the questions exactly what I'm experiencing as well? So I thought, well, how fitting. The universe is a really neat place. And then two other questions came in that all can be tied together. And then one last question came in, and I kind of got it so late, I almost don't remember what it's about, but it's just coming to me. So I'm going to write it down here. So today, I'm just going to answer some questions. Give me a second. I'm very thirsty. All right, I might be drinking a lot today. I'm in excessive thirst. There's nothing that can quench my thirst. It's just phenomenal how thirsty I am. So if you're new to this call, thank you for joining. This is the Be Brilliant call. It is a time to just relax and let your worries, your frustrations, your sadness, your anything really. So it's going to just melt away and peel away things that are bothering you at the physical level, mental level, and emotional level. So a lot of people are saying they're feeling very emotional lately, very exhausted lately, a lot of things. Well, sometimes I like to go deep and do some healings on myself. And I reach out to another healer. And I did. And I guess I was ready to release something very traumatic. Wow. Amazing. 13 years later and still releasing. And I feel a bit disconnected from what's happening inside my being. It's like this one trauma is releasing a whole slew of stuff. And then one of the questions that came in was someone says they're feeling very disconnected, even from meditating. They can't do it. They're not motivated and wondering why. And I said, well, we are in a beautiful energy where healing can happen spontaneously, but it also can happen if you're asking for it. And I usually generally ask for it, but sometimes there are energetic forces pushing us forward to release. And when they do, we can get to in a processing and releasing or letting go phase. And when we're in that phase, we can get very demotivated, unmotivated, very tired, almost hard to concentrate. So if you're ever feeling like that, give yourself a pat on the back and say, hey, listen, you're going through something, just go through it. Give your time to be a little bit lazy. Give your time to just reconnect, drink lots of water. And you may not know what's healing. Some people know, some people don't. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. That's fine. Just say, there might be something changing inside me and I'm okay with it. We're not going to get the upgrades that are out there unless we ask for them. They are available to everyone. We all have a 24th chromosome that is, I call it the spiritual chromosome, something we don't see. They hold abilities, they hold a lot of things. And if you want to activate it, you can actually say, I'm ready to change, I'm ready to grow, I'm ready to allow these upgrades. You can do that. And then once you kind of give that okay to do that, well, what happens is these beings of light know what you want, your higher self knows what you want, and they kind of put you on this journey. So when you're feeling disconnected and you can't meditate or you can't connect and you're not sure why, someone was asking, well, what can I do in those cases? I found today when I was just feeling so overwhelmed, I just went into repeating the 4 phrases of Ho'oponopono, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. I was saying it in my head out loud because whatever I was letting go was so uncomfortable. I just didn't know how to deal with it. And when I'm saying that, that is an ancient Hawaiian healing method. It's very powerful, very simple. But when you say that, what's happening is whatever it is in you that needs to heal, and perhaps the other person that you're healing a trauma with, maybe someone hurt you or something like that. When you're going through that and you're saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you, you're healing yourself, but you're also healing that person. You're breaking that energy in between the two of you, and it promotes healing at all levels. And isn't it beautiful to think that you can heal yourself and heal someone who's hurt you? And some people will say, oh, I'm never going to say that because I don't want to heal or send good energy to my ex-wife or something like that. Well, the funny thing is, I get it, right? But think about it. If you're healing yourself and you somehow get to heal that person who you're mad at, that's going to make you feel warm and fuzzy. It's going to put you at ease, and that tension between the two of you is going to melt away. You don't have to tell them, I did a favor for you, look what I did. Just you're doing it for yourself. And if you really have a hard time saying that because of the implication that you're healing yourself and that person, then think of yourself as an ambassador of the universe. So a lot of the times when I'm working, I am not Brenda Ferrugia. I am a being of light that's working with the beings of light. So I can work on myself and my traumas with everyone else because I am not my little self. I'm just holding the space for all of us to heal. Sometimes I'll actually sit across from myself. I'll put a picture of myself on the chair and I'll sit on the other chair. I say, okay, Brenda, tell me all your problems. And I just listen. And then I work on her as a third person. It sounds a little bit crazy, but it works. So there's so many fun things you can do with healing. So if you're feeling disconnected, try the Ho'oponopono. Be kind to yourself. Go for a nap. Just say, today I'm not going to meditate. I'm just processing and I'm allowing that to happen. And just go with it. You'll probably find it might take a few days, but you're going to have this nice shift. You're going to feel lighter, more connected. Not to say it's not going to happen again, because after we kind of recover from a healing, another one might come our way. If we're on a healing journey, your higher self's really guiding you to heal. So I hope that answers that question. Another question that I found really interesting is about how the moon affects us. So how many people out here are affected by the moon? Are anybody out there, like when there's a full moon, you just feel so either emotional or you can't sleep, or you're laying in bed and all these emotions and memories are coming out and you just can't sleep? Well, some of us are very affected by the moon, others aren't. To some people, the moon's energy is like a dog with a fly or a tick on it. It's kind of irritating. Some people get really emotional, but we are affected by so many different energies. So the moon is a big one for some of us. And you know what? I think a lot of us are actually affected by the moon, but never put 2 and 2 together, never followed the cycles of the moon. But if you notice on a full moon that you're feeling really awake and things like that, start to watch when the next full moon, a few days before, you might start to be releasing something, and then it kind of goes into the heightened phase where you're all hyper, and then it kind of calms down. Generally, if something's bubbling up for me, I'll just write, and my handwriting is not very clear, but I'll make notes and notes and notes about what I feel is coming up, because the moon's coming up, and as the moon's coming up, I'm starting to purge something. And then I have this scribble, like so much, all this stuff, and it doesn't have to be nice. And sometimes I'll just take that piece of paper and light it outside in front of the moon on a full moon, and I say, I'm letting it go. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. The neat thing is sometimes paper does not burn easily. You have a lighter to it and doesn't want to burn. So if you're going to do that, try to find paper that burns easily. Because if it's cold out and you're trying to light it, it doesn't light. It's very frustrating. And you just end up tearing into pieces. But there's something about burning it. It just gives you that satisfaction. Like, yeah, I let it go. Sometimes I'll have piles and piles and piles of letters that I write to myself or to whoever. I may have like, I don't know, 10 or 12. And I wait for the full moon to just let them all go. I was thinking of having a full moon ceremony out in Selkirk at the farm. But the problem is, then it's dark out, and then everyone has to drive home an hour in the dark. And I didn't think anyone from Oakville would go, but maybe I'll try something locally for the local folks. So they're starting to get to know me there. But that would be beautiful because the sky there with the stars and the big moon are just so beautiful. And sometimes I just sit out there and I feel like I want to howl at the moon. So it kind of, the moon brings out my crazy side, but it's also my fun side, but it's also a purging side. So if you want, just feel how you are. It may affect you, and you can use the moon's energy to help heal and process. Okay, I hope that answered your question, but there's so much information on the moon. There's even apps on your phone for the moon phases. So you can tell if your mood's changing. You can say, oh, this is the phase of the moon that I'm affected by, and it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Another question that came in was about synchronicities. I love synchronicities. Whenever synchronicities happen in my life, I know I'm in alignment. So someone's question was, synchronicities are happening more and more to me. How is this happening? Why am I feeling like I'm getting divinely guided to do something and something else happens? That is when you start letting go of this resistance, you start to connect to who you truly are. You have this beautiful connection, and your higher self has your back. So let's just say I'm living life 15 years ago, chaos and mess. That's where I was. I would walk right into a big hole. Let's just say I'm just using this as an example. I would walk into this big hole and my life would get even more chaotic. When you start to do healing, and you're healing at an emotional, mental, and physical level, your connection to who you are, your intuition starts to really expand, and you're more connected. Your higher self, who's always been there, because that's you, right? You're a magnificent divine being, but it's kind of like we're lost in the personality self. When the personality self starts to get out of the way and we're more connected, instead of walking into that hole, your higher self is going to give you ideas. It's going to give you things so you go around the hole. So you're being guided through life in a different way. You're being guided by your higher self. The neat thing is, that's when you start to see synchronicities. And if you ever have something beautiful happen in your life, and then you kind of like follow the trail of how you got there, it could be 17 different steps that would make no sense at step one to get where you are. But once you're there and you trace back all the cool things of how you met that person, how you took that phone call, and how that phone call led you to your, it's like it's all synchronicities being guided by your higher self. So when you start to have synchronicities, that's an indication you're getting clearer of your own connection, your own intuition. Sometimes you can go into meditation. And a lot of us think we're going to go into meditation and have this really great awakening. Well, sometimes I come out of meditation with this huge urge to go to Canadian Tire, which makes no sense. But when I feel that impulse, I know it's something that I don't understand. So I just drive to Canadian Tire. And I'm just walking around. I mean, you can always look at stuff at Canadian Tire, something you always have to buy. All of a sudden, this person's there, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's why I was brought here. And then you're talking to that person, and they say, oh, Brenda, you got to have this person's number. Then you have this person's number. Then you go talk to this person that leads to this and this and this. All of a sudden, you're in this whole different space. You're like, how did I get here? And then it's because your higher self is guiding you. Synchronicity also can come in the form of numbers. How many here see numbers? it starts usually 1111 or 111, 222, 333. And when you're in the day and you're like, oh my gosh, I have seen 444 like 5 times, it's catching your attention. Well, look up what 444 means, because there is a message behind numbers. They're called angel numbers. I use a website from, I think Joanne Sacred is her name. It's a free website. She has all the different combinations. Numbers are very cool. I remember when I first started, the first number I saw was 911. It was about 14 years ago. And I said, oh my gosh, I am going to die. That was all. I kept saying 911 and everything was just flashing everywhere. I was so terrified of seeing 911. I didn't know what to do, but then I had the courage to read on it. And when I read, it said 911 is an urgent message from your spirit guides to wake the heck up. And I'm like, what? What is this? And then I started to read about angel numbers and this and that. And then once you acknowledge, thank you, universe, thank you, God, thank you, angels, spirit guides, whatever you want to call them, thank you for waking me up, or thank you for showing me these numbers, then they're going to give you another combination. Now, first they start off with simple ones, the 3, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8 to get your attention. Once you start to read what they mean, they're going to start giving you different combinations, like 543. So then you're looking at 543. When you go and read where that, you can read any material. So your guides know where you're getting your meanings for the numbers from, because many books are slightly different. So mine, I said, I'm going to always use Joanne Sacred and the number combinations you're showing me, because I'm going to read it from this. That's the meaning I'm going to get from, right? So 543 from her website might mean slightly different 543 from a book. So if I'm asking a question and I can't hear the answer because I'm being stubborn, 543, I read it, I'm like, oh my gosh, they answered my question. When you are guided by synchronicities, notice them and thank your guide. Say, I'm getting it, because they're going to talk to you in any way they can. Right? So some of us need numbers. Some of us can have a question, the song comes on, and what happens is the song says something that you're like, oh my gosh, that's the answer to what I needed to know. Or it can even get even more bizarre. Synchronicities could be, I asked a question, all of a sudden I go out and some stranger will come totally up to me and just say something random. But it's not random. They just answered my question. And I don't know how that happens, but I just like, and then they just come up to me, say, blah, 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 and they go. I'm like, okay, that is the funniest thing, because they answered my question. And maybe I wasn't listening to the other way I was trying to get the message. So they blatantly got someone in front of me to tell me what my answer is. So a lot of these can be lots of fun. Being in connection, synchronicities, it's so much fun when you get in that flow. But once you're in that flow and you have the synchronicities, well, it feels really crappy when you're no longer in the flow. And that's how I know I'm maybe like, especially when I'm going through a healing of my own and I'm processing, my connection is very I guess muffled. I get stuff in the way. So today, because I've been in this for about 24 hours, and earlier today I said, maybe I need to cancel this call today because I feel really not myself. I feel like so disconnected from everything. And I asked them, should I do the call today? And within the next hour, all of a sudden, all my connection came back. I started to see numbers, questions, bang, bang, bang. So I'm back. But it's been a really tough 24 hours not being in that connection as I was going through stuff. And when you go through that stuff and you're in that disconnection and you're in that healing of processing, it feels like a very dark place. But just know you're not alone. So the whole Pono can work, staying in the light. I always say, okay, when I'm in my place where I'm going through not such a good place, I always say, okay, angels, I'm going through something. I'm very uncomfortable right now. I hate this feeling. I don't like the feeling. So please get me through it as quickly as possible. But make sure it's all done. I don't want to go through this again. So just let it go, let it go. And then I'm just kind of kind to myself, and I might eat a little more treats. Although a good thing to do when you're feeling that disconnection is try to eat healthier foods, like whole foods, fruits, vegetables, because they're high vibrating, right? And when you're going through all that hard stuff, you want to eat the low vibrational foods, the processed foods, and whatever. I mean, I'm not against any foods, but when you're feeling that heaviness and that uncomfortable, when you reach for a bunch of blueberries or an apple or banana or a red pepper, because they're high vibrating, they're helping you shift up faster. So drink plenty of water and try your best to eat healthy and be kind to yourself. So I always get, I've been doing this for so long. How could I be in this trauma right now? It doesn't even make sense. I want to get mad, frustrated. And I just go, you know what? I'm just going to be with it. I'm just going to be with it. I'm going to make sure I don't cry in front of anyone, and I'm going to make sure I'm not short with anyone, and I'm going to be as kind as I can to everyone else while I'm being kind to myself, because there's a part of me that just wants to go hide in a rock and not talk to anyone. So I have to be more mindful to be able to talk to people and do what I need to do in life. So it's all really neat how we're all going through so much, and some of us are moving faster than others. Some people are moving too fast. Sometimes I feel like, although it's been 13 years, right now I feel like I'm moving too fast. The last little bit's been way too quick, but I'm just catching up, holding my breath and saying, okay, God, your angels, your higher self is never going to give you more than you can handle. So if you feel like you're in your darkest day and everything's falling apart, you can get through it. There's that motivation, that love. You are loved, and they're only going to give you what you can handle. So just take a deep breath and know that you're going to get through this, and be kind to yourself while you're going through it. Another question that came in, which kind of actually just all ties in beautifully today, is somebody asked, why do I feel sick although I'm not sick? Why am I feeling sick? It's kind of like I feel healthy, and that comes back to a feeling of sickness and things like that. I'm going to just explain it from my standpoint, but everyone can have their own different experiences. But let's say I'm healing my throat chakra. Something is going through there, and I get raspy voice. And for anyone who's ever heard me the last 2 years, how many times have I had raspy voice? Well, what is the throat chakra actually? What does it entail? Well, it is like not standing up for yourself. It's not, voicing your truth, all those things. And we're suppressed. And so there's lots of a lot of us have healing in our throat chakra. So what do we get? We get scratchy throats, sore throats, can't talk, laryngitis. I'm not sick. I know I'm not sick. I'm going through a healing at a very deep level that needs to release this pain and suffering that I've had stored in my throat chakra. So sometimes our whole body will ache. And then what is that all about? Well, when we go through some big healings, and this is back in the day, I used to go through this a lot. So here we are, we have this beautiful body of ours, and then we have all this, we're much more energy. We have the light in us and the darkness in us, right? When we shift some of the dense energy out and we replace it with light, what happens when we have a very big shift is our vibration actually goes up. But our 3D body is a kind of dense. Our 3D body now has to catch up to this new lift in vibration. In that process of lifting up or adjusting, our bodies can go into a feeling of a flu-like symptoms. Now, everyone's very different. Some people might get headaches, body aches, sweats. I'm one that gets that plus rashes. So a lot of the years I've been healing, I would have this massive rash right through here. And I knew it was because I let some dense energy go, maybe too much at that time. And my body had to recalibrate to that higher vibration. Now, that is why healing happens layer by layer. We're letting out dense energy, bringing in the light. We're adjusting. Letting out dense energy, bringing in the light. We're adjusting. It is a lifelong healing process. So in essence, what's happening is we are bringing in more light. We're anchoring more light on Earth. So as we're each healing, we're holding more light on this planet. So that's why we keep saying every second of the day, more light is being held on this planet, more light's coming in. It's because more hearts are opening, dense energy's leaving, light's coming in, and it's happening all over the world. So as someone's holding more light, another person holding more light, that light is helping others heal. It's like this popcorn effect. So it's really quite neat to watch it, although we're in some very uncomfortable times. This personal ascension process is really a personal thing. It is a human collective thing, and it is a Mother Earth thing. So we're all in this together. So when you see someone very cranky, and we don't want to judge them because we don't know what they're going through. They have the universal energies pumping at them too. And people who don't want to change, these universal energy, the moon energy, this energy that are pushing us to heal, can really frustrate somebody if they're not open enough to it. So it's like this pushing, and they don't understand it. So they're frustrated, they're agitated, they're yelling at people, they're cursing. Don't take their crap personally. Say, oh shit, they're going through. I usually just send them, energetically, just send them love. May they get through this. May they open up their heart. But I can't force that. That's something they have to go through in their own time. Okay, I think I answered all the questions that came in before I got online. If anyone has a quick question here, I'll answer it, but I think we're going to start the healing session. All right, I'm just going to drink some more water. Oh, I got a call, not a call, an email, or maybe it was something. Anyway, someone was saying I did this soul bath retreat with this lady, Veronica Parks, from, I think she was in Hawaii when she did it, but she's in California. And I was like a guest that came on for an hour, and people had 5 hours of bathing in beautiful energy. But I had some people say that they were seeing angels that day around them. The intensity of those healings was neat because it's all compounded, right? There's so much love flowing all over. It was really neat. So I think that I did that, and then I decided to go to another person that I met and say, hey, do this thing on me. I think I got overloaded with too much healing, if that's possible. And that's why I've had 24 hours of just crazy stuff happening. But again, I just love myself, get through it, and move on to the next one. And I will just say, are we having fun yet? All right, there's no questions here at this time. So we're going to start with what we all really came here for. And at this time, this is when my daughter should be getting ready for bed. She's watching my video right now. Music's going on. So please make sure you're in bed. Thank you. All right, everyone. I'm going to start sharing some music. For those of you, I'm just going to go through the list here really, really quickly. 1 second. Okay, for those of you who might be new on the call, there is nothing you need to do. You just want to surrender and go into the state of allowance. And you can get there by saying, I give permission to heal at all levels. I don't have to understand what's going. I just give permission. I allow, I am in the receiving mode because we're all in this together. This beautiful energy is going to swirl around. We're all adding to it. Why not get it back, right? So it's easy to give, not easy to receive. So it's just say, I'm in the receiving mode. I'm going to allow this healing, and every cell of my body is going to be excited. I'm going to release at a physical, mental, and emotional layer. I'm just ready to feel better, all right? So now you're just going to relax, either lay down, close your eyes. If you fall asleep, that is completely fine. You might wake up and this is all done. It doesn't matter. It's still working. This energy will work with you for the next 4 or 5 days. So drink lots of water. Allow that to replenish. Just every time you're drinking and going to the bathroom, you're releasing toxins, all right? So it's all good. It's all good. Sometimes it gets annoying when you get to that point where you're so excessively thirsty that no amount of water is like quenching you, which is where I am today. It's just been last 24 hours. I have no idea how much water it's just not enough. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So Music's going on. Remember, when we're done, I'm going to use the singing bowl. That's just processing last minute energies. And okay, we're good. I didn't think I had anything to say today. So thank you for the questions. It kind of put something to think about because my mind was a bit mushy. So that's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to play this song. Just let me know if it's not too loud or too loud. I'm not going to talk during it because my voice is kind of done. So I'm just going to share the screen, share the music, and here we go. All right, enjoy everyone. Get into that state of allowance. Listen to the music, deep breaths. You are completely loved during this. You're all in your own bubbles of beautiful love, and you have your own team working on you. So enjoy. Okay, everyone. That was pretty intense. I have no idea what happened with the music. It just started playing its own music, not stuff I usually play. It was pretty deep. Oh, okay, I'm still buzzing. Drink lots of water. Allow it to do whatever it needs to do. Just stay. I'm not sure what music that was. I think that's some of the meditation music I listened to. It's pretty deep. So I'm glad you liked it. I have no idea how it came on, but all good. Whew, okay, very deep. Okay, I'm kind of speechless, so I'm not going to talk. If you have any questions, I'll just stay and listen. Watch the thing. Other than that, sleep well. Allow the healing. I always request that we sleep peacefully and soundly. But for those of you who go through your routine when you heal, just allow it. It's fine. And okay. All right, guys. You're very welcome. Yeah, lots of stuff happening here. Lots of good stuff happening here, guys. Okay. Actually, my contacts aren't even adjusting. I can't really see right now either. So, sleep well, everyone. If you have any questions or want to send me an email, feel free to reach out. If you experience something and not sure if it was right or wrong, it's always right. It's right for you. We're all very different how we heal. So just be with it. And just say I'm allowing it. Some people, there's the people that burp all night long after this. There's other people who just feel like they're buzzing all night and they can't sleep. And then there's others that just knock right out and go to bed. We're all very different. And it's funny, somebody's saying their third eye is buzzing. My whole head is buzzing right now. Woo! Wow, okay. Everyone's okay, right? Like if you're feeling dizzy, stomp your feet on the ground. So when I leave this office is really high vibrating. When I leave my office, I usually go outside or stomp my feet. I come right back down. Right now, I'm way up there still. So if you're feeling that way, ask Mother Earth to ground you, drink water. Yeah, really nice. Okay, everyone. And yeah, I'll send the website. Actually, you know what? Because I know some of you might be wanting it. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it quickly. It's on my phone for sure. Angel Numbers. I love this website, Angel Numbers. I've been using it for years. I find the lady who does it, they're just so loving, all her messages. I've always really liked her for some reason. I'm gonna find her for you. I'll send it in the chat before I go, because I don't think I'm gonna be sending out the email anytime soon. Oh yeah, I think I found it. Yes, easy. This her? Okay, let's make it here. Just gonna see if it looks like, yeah. And also on this website, she has so much information. So she'll say, your life purposes, and you can read what life purpose is. It's a great website. I'm going to grab, so where's it? The numbers, where's it? This is it. And it's so neat. Like, okay, let's think of a number. I'm just gonna throw one out there. Oh, this isn't it. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. It looks very different on my cell phone here. Or on my laptop. Or I'm just crazy and still buzzing here. Hold on. I'm gonna try something. Oh yeah, it looks right. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to send it to you after because, like, I'm going to our site. It keeps jumping to something else, and I don't want to send another one. I want to send you. I want to send you the one I love. Again, you can use anything. Some people buy angel books with numbers. Then that's where your guides know you're going to. So those numbers are going to be slightly different than hers. So really, just go with what resonates with you. But I love her website because it gives so much cool information. Okay. Oh, someone just texted it to me. Thanks. How am I gonna get it onto my thing though? I just so if you email it to me, I can get it on there. But I can't use my phone right now. I think it's invisible. Oh yeah, you like okay, so other people like the music today. That's actually music I play when I'm working because it's really for deep meditation music. Oh look, Lynn got it in there. All right, so that's the website. It's a great website. That's what I use, and there's so much information there. So any combination, you just go read it, and it's just really it'll kind of like really resonates with me. So a lot of people, I usually send that to a lot of clients. They like that one. Okay, there was something else I was gonna say, but I totally lost it. So let's go to bed, and I'll try to write it in an email when I send out the replay. Okay, everyone, sweet dreams. Good night. And thanks again, Lynn, for sending that to people who might want that. And I'll send it in the email as well. It's a great website. Okay, everyone, good night.